Welcome into Quick Picks Friday edition, Wild Friday. I don't know if you guys.
Wild Friday.
Yeah, if you've missed the yak, it was definitely one to go back and watch.
How's my makeup look?
Your makeup looks. You look. It's Memoirs of the Geisha. That's what we're doing in here today. But it was a great yak. Been kind of a slow day here. It's kind of rainy, kind of weird, but it's Friday nonetheless, and we're about to go into the weekend. Hopefully, hitting a parlay. And I'll go first. I'm taking Aaron Judge and Corbin Carroll parlayed together just to get over half a hit. And I normally don't like to put a parlay into a parlay, but this one was just too sexy to pass up. And I'm not going to patronize anyone by sitting here and telling you guys how and why Corbin Carroll and Aaron Judge are so good, because you know it. But what I will say is that they have great matchups against the opposing starters, and that's why I'm taking them. So that's all I got to say about that. Aaron Judge, Corbin Carroll, both just to get a hit. It was plus 100 this morning. So hopefully it'll help the parlay out a little bit, give a little juice.
All right. I am in the association tonight. 3 games. Not the sexiest games. Orlando, Boston with Jason Tatum doubtful. Now it looks like Jaylen Brown is questionable. Milwaukee, Indiana, and then Lakers, T-Wolves, which is the headline game tonight. I'm going to be in the first game, Orlando, Boston. Give me Paolo Banchero over 13.5 combined rebounds and assists. So it's a little juicy right now. It's minus 135. I like it at 14.5, so I'm kind of hoping it goes to that. But I'll put it in the parlay for sure at this number at 13.5. He's been playing. He's taken his game to another level in the playoffs. He did this last year too. He is that type of guy that has a much higher ceiling. And Orlando just doesn't have a lot of guys, but role players step up at home, especially if the Celtics are a little bit undermanned. We could see Paolo dishing out a couple more successful assists, and he's been rebounding the ball really well. His rebound line is 9.5. So give me Paolo Banchero over 13.5 combined rebounds and assists.
What's the chat play? Lukey or Jebediah? I'm sorry. He's going by Jebediah now. I've changed his name.
Not going by
Jeb.
Jebediah.
Jebediah Springfield?
And just Jeb. We all decided he looks like a Jebediah.
I can see that.
Yeah. That's producer Jeb.
Well, Luke is here behind the sticks. Producer Luke. Chat's going with Connor McDavid over 1.5 points tonight as they host the LA Kings in Game 3.
What are the odds on
2-0. Minus 105.
For 1.5 points, really? Wow.
Yeah. He's that dude. Best player in the game.
What does that parlay pay out?
586.
586. Almost 6-1. Love to end our week winning one of those parlays. It's been a long week. I feel bad for everyone that went to the Cubs game today. Got rained out.
Rained out or delayed?
I think it's delayed. Last time I looked, it was delayed. But people were texting saying it was freezing and raining. It's just awful. I would hate to have skipped work today and had been rained out. No, he didn't skip work. No, that was just a little joke. I'm not gonna get Nicky in any more trouble. He might have had a ticket and sold it, but that's
smart.
That's okay
to have a ticket. Selling it. That's the wise move.
It is the wise move. You got anything else, Jay? That was a long yak. I'm sure you guys went over everything on the prep sheet.
I'll wait a minute right now, but there's a market I do want to talk about that can make tonight's night, day 2 of the NFL drafts. We got rounds 2 and 3 tonight. Shedeur Sanders. Where is he going to go? And you can just pick the team, but this is a market in DraftKings, and I kind of like it. Where is it? So under NFL 2025 draft, player drafted by, he is the 3rd one listed. You can bet on Cam Scatterbo, Jalen Milroe, and Shedeur Sanders. So the Raiders are the favorites at minus 175. The Browns are plus 225, but the Browns were like minus 400 last night. The betting odds have gone pretty far away from the Browns. I've heard that the Browns are not interested. The Browns are the 1st pick in the 2nd round and the 4th pick in the 2nd round. So the Raiders are the betting favorite. But after that, if the Raiders don't pick him, and they have Geno Smith, who is a little bit older, and that's something I could see. They have been linked to him. Right. Tom Brady, as part of the ownership group. Do Pete Carroll and GM John Spipe, do they like him? Not sure. They didn't visit with him or have any visits with him. But after that, the odds get pretty fun. So we got the Saints at plus 450. Certainly a quarterback needy team.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got the Steelers 12-1, the
Okay.
Rams 12-1, Jets 14-1, Seahawks 18-1, and then everyone we got Dolphins 21, Cowboys 21, Colts 31, and then everyone's 55 or 1 or more.
All right, I have a question for you. If you're him and you had like the big showing yesterday, you had a lot of people there. You expected to go in the first round. How are you feeling today?
I think he's getting some like heat for it because I guess he like performed a little bit, like either a song or something at his draft party. I think he's handling it really well. I mean, how are you supposed to handle it? I'm sure he's bummed, but like this is, he's saying it's God's plan and everything's going to work out as it should. What better attitude could he have at this point? Like, we've seen Geno Smith when he didn't get drafted left the draft.
Do you think this will make him hungrier? Like, you think maybe humble him even a little bit? Like maybe
certainly
hey, look, you're at the end of the day, like you're still competing. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, it's not an easy job to get. There are 32 of these jobs on the planet, and a lot of them are filled by really good guys. So, I think he's going to be okay. But let's talk about betting and odds. Is there a team that stands out to you where he could go? Because I actually do have one.
Well, why don't you say yours? Because I don't have a team that stands out because I don't really have any opinion on it.
So a lot of teams have passed on him.
I know. I supposedly just issues is what I'm hearing.
There's one team that hasn't passed on him. And they have a quarterback who's pretty old and almost retired, and that's the Los Angeles Rams, and they're currently 12-1. That's a place where I have made my bet. I do not have any intel with what Sean McVay is thinking. He was.
Let's make that clear. He has not been in contact with Sean McVay.
Well, like with anyone in the Rams organization or any sources to say, he's our guy. But they did trade out. They got extra picks. And this is a spot where at 12-1, I think it's worth a little sprinkle.
Yeah,
maybe make the draft a little bit interesting. Shador going to a good quarterback system. Well, obviously, with Sean McVay, you have a quarterback there who they just re-signed, so there's no pressure for him to start. Stay on the West Coast, and also take a look at Shador's game has been compared to a Rams backup, and that's Jimmy Garoppolo. So that's a potential fit, and again, they have not passed on him.
All right.
They have traded back. I'm just saying.
He's just saying.
That is worth a sprinkle if you want to make the draft a little bit interesting. And, it's a 12-1 long shot. The Raiders are betting favorites. I would pay attention to the lines. The lines are pretty good. If you see him Vegas Raiders minus 500 in a couple hours, which may well happen, he's probably going to be gone before the Rams pick. But the Rams could either move up or they pick in the middle of the second round and have the opportunity to get him.
Well, speaking of sprinkle, it's sprinkling outside, and we should probably get to getting home. So shout out to you guys for watching today, and shout out to our best and only sportsbook, the DraftKings Sportsbook. Make sure you follow us in the Barstool betting group where Che is putting in the parlay. Pays almost 6-1. Would love to end the week on an almost 6-1 parlay. Also, shout out props.cash. Great visuals every day. And Drink Ghost Energy. You can look at the full lineup at drinkghostenergy.com. Delicious, transparent, 200 milligrams of caffeine for your flavor liking. We will be back on Monday, hopefully after we hit a winner. You guys have a great weekend, and we love you here from Quick Picks.
See you guys.